success of this program, benefiting all those involved and contributing to the betterment of society. This helps us to stay focused and steer clear of any obstacles that may hinder the progress of this program. In you we put our trust and seek your guidance every step of the way. Ya Latif Ya Rahman Ya Munzil Barakat. Please bless us with your tawfiq and hidayah and guide us to greatness, peace, glory and prosperity in this world and the hereafter. Bestow peace to our beloved country Malaysia, preserve us from any threat and disaster, and to you, Ya Allah, we ask for security and prosperity upon us, our leaders and our country. Please accept our deeds and please reward us accordingly. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana haza jam'an marhuma wa tafarraqana min ba'dihi tafarraqa ma'suma wa la taj'al illahumma fina wa la ma'ana wa la man yataba'una shaqiyan wa la maqrudan wa la mahruma. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Insyaallah Jalil. It now gives me great pleasure to invite YB Tuan Syed Ibrahim Syed Noor, Chairman of MDEC, to give the welcoming remarks. YB.
Auzubillahiminasyaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yang berhormat Fahmi Fadzil, Minister of Communications and Digital. Yang bahagia Technologist Mahathir Aziz, Chief Executive Officer of MDEC, esteemed guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Salam perpaduan and salam Malaysia Madani. First and foremost, I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude and deep respect for the trust placed in me to assume the role of Chairman of MDEC. I see this trust as a responsibility and a new space. A new space for me to translate my struggle to bring institutional reform and direction for our country and people. As Uncle Ben said to Peter Parker, with great power comes great responsibility. Drawing on all the knowledge and experience gained while working in the technology sector, as well as the guidance of my colleagues on the MDEC management team, I am determined to seize the opportunity to further develop Malaysia's digital economy for the future. Digital people, MDEC has a big role to play. Malaysia as a country eager for development in the digital world, MDEC must continue to be a leader and explorer in driving this development further. Looking at the development over the past few years, the digital economy is expected to contribute 25.5% of Malaysia's GDP. In just 10 years, the positive development of the digital economy has produced nearly 200,000 job opportunities and 3,000 active MSCs companies. In 2019, Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, through the Digital Native Agenda, laid out the vision of how the digital economy should bring significant impact to the country. Now that vision is being translated into planning under the Minister and Ministry of Communications and Digital. Therefore, the announcement of Program Mangkin Malaysia Digital, PEMANGKIN, is timely. If we look closely, the focus of the Malaysia Digital Initiative is to touch on the digital aspects of critical sectors of country's economy, such as trade, tourism, agriculture, and healthcare. These are critical sectors that also affect the economy in general, thus impacting the nation and the people. Esteemed guests, regarding Program Mangkin Malaysia Digital PEMANGKIN, Later, I will hand over to Tuan Mahathir Aziz for a comprehensive explanation, and I don't want to spoil the surprise. Above all, though, guided by the Gagasan Malaysia Madani through the core of prosperity and innovation, through the strategy of private sector collaboration and MDEC support, I believe that the objectives of Program Mangkin Malaysia Digital PEMANGKIN, which will be announced shortly, will be achieved. As Master Yoda said, no, try not. Do or do not. There is no try. Let's continue to dream, work hard, and strive for progress. Let's work hand in hand towards building a vibrant and inclusive digital economy for Malaysia. Without further ado, I will now pass on to technologist Mahathir Aziz, CEO of MDEC, to explain the detail of our plans for growing Malaysia's digital economy. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, YB, and wise words from Yoda indeed. And now, for an understanding of Program Mangkin Malaysia Digital or PEMANGKIN, please help me welcome MDEC's CEO Technologies Mahathir Aziz.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang berhormat Tuan Fahmi Fadzil, Minister of Communications and Digital, or KKD, in its Malay acronym. Yang berhormat Tuan Syed Ibrahim Saidno, Chairman of Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, MDEC, esteemed guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning to all of you. Salam perpaduan and salam Malaysia Madani. Firstly, I would like to welcome all of you to the announcement of Program Mangkin Malaysia Digital, or PEMANGKIN for short. I hope the coffee that you had during sahur is still within the system. At least it still works for mine, so we need to keep the energy up and all that. KKD, and by extension through MDEC itself as the nation's lead digital economy agency, are very pleased to further introduce new PEMANGKIN to support the growth of the 9 promoted tech sectors in Malaysia. So the development of these sectors does more than just open new avenues for economic growth and also future innovations. They also improve, enrich and empower the rakyat in many ways, on top of raising the overall ecosystem value. Malaysia Digital launched on the 4th of July last year. It is a national strategic initiative by the government of Malaysia to encourage and attract companies, talents and also investments, while enabling Malaysian businesses and the rakyat to play a leading part in the global digital economy. While MD is the successor to Multimedia Super Corridor Malaysia, or MSC Malaysia for short, it has basically served to transform Malaysia into a knowledge-based economy since the 90s when it was announced. So today we want to expand through Malaysia Digital, not only for the rakyat and also the investors, but it's very much for the businesses. It's very much for the ecosystem. MD is set to enhance Malaysia's value proposition to attract digital investments, firmly establishing Malaysia as the digital hub of ASEAN with a new and enhanced framework. So MD seeks to transform not only the digital capabilities, it's about changing the local tech companies and ecosystem. And as my minister just mentioned outside, driving digital adoption. Very, very key in what we do, and also in how we want to move the nation forward. It is to boost the digital economy via the introduction and execution of the various Pemangkin. To date, when we announced Malaysia Digital, for some of you who may remember last year in July, we did announce 2 Pemangkin projects. One would be the Dirantau or Digital Nomad program, and the other is the National E-Invoicing. We said that is coming soon. At least that's what we told the market last year. And we want to be able to bring that and remind that today. So today, Dirantau as a program that aims to establish Malaysia as the preferred digital nomad hub in a bid to boost digital adoption and tech applications such as AI, blockchain, and Web 3.0, and more. We want to be able to attract professionals, nomads, who are living and working outside of Malaysia to come and experience the beauty that we have in Malaysia, but more importantly, to help Malaysia grow the ecosystem together with this foreign nomads. If I may say so, and I'm not quoting Yoda, this is just quoting myself. If I may say so, very much, if we don't have it, we import. If we don't know how to do it, we copy. Then we establish how and create new things that we can develop together. Then we can export. So I will take together with you, hopefully through the slides, in terms of how we want to be able to take the rest of the ecosystem through that journey. Other than that, this program, Dirantau, aims to promote digital professional mobility and also to help tourism sector recover. Again, tourism is very much one of the major sectors in Malaysia that was greatly affected by the COVID-19 and the ensuing lockdowns and closed borders as well. So we want to be able to contribute towards that. If any one of you were there in Langkawi the first day, or rather the first weekend, they reopened with that travel bubble, and I was there, I think it's depressing in terms of what Chenang, and we all remember what Chenang used to look like and how they were affected by that, everyone that we met there. And Langkawi is just the microcosm, or was just the microcosm of what was happening throughout the country for tourism. So we felt, kalau kata Melayu dia tu, terpanggil lah, to be able to contribute to the Malaysian economy in general through digital on how we can help the tourism sector recover. At the same time, we also have the Malaysia Tech Entrepreneur Program, or MTEC, MDEC for short. Some of you may know about that, it has been around for years. This is to bring in new entrepreneurs. And we also have the long-standing program called the Foreign Knowledge Workers, or internally referred to as FKW. Again, these are separate types of permits, visa or working permits, that where we believe the Dirantau Pass and permit will complement. So you will get a bit more from 1+1 years passes that you can enjoy and extend that to your family members. We hope that you can create new companies here through the MTEC program, and eventually for other larger companies to employ you if you are not so much entrepreneur inclined or business inclined just yet, so you can be employed and stay within the country. The Digital Nomad Program by Dirantau is expected to inject a total of 4.8 billion ringgit into the local economy by the year 2025. Since commencing applications for Dirantau Nomad Passes on October 1st last year, MDEC has received over 2,000 applications from all digital nomads. The numbers that actually has submitted interest, and this is not applying to us, is actually double that. And that is how much interest we have generated from this. Against the backdrop of ASEAN and highly competitive, if I may say so, because you have the Phuket and you have the Bali. So that is again how people see Malaysia, how they see it as a tourism and a destination and a digital economy ecosystem that is ripe for the taking. So this is what we want to be able to have capitalized in. So today, out of the 2,000 applications, we have onboarded close to 446 digital nomads, and we have established 844 Dirantau hubs. This is the locations, or the preferred locations, where the Dirantau nomads can actually be located. Not necessarily there, but they would have priority if they were to stay there. So the Dirantau hubs is currently spans across 4 states. We launched it in September last year in Penang, followed by Langkawi, recently this year in Kuala Lumpur, just across the road actually, and I think last month in Malacca as well. So the popular destinations and tourist destinations are there, but we want to be able to expand to other areas. Not every places in Malaysia have beaches for people to enjoy. There's the rainforest. There's also the other part of Orang Asli and things like that. These are the things that we want others to know. Yes, people will just say that Malaysia, some foreigners still think that we still live on trees, but these are the nice trees that we want to show to other people as well. Okay? So, through these Dirantau hubs and a thriving ecosystem, there can be knowledge and experience sharing among local and foreign nomads, leading to the creation of a vibrant and knowledgeable local community and also businesses. So again, if I can remind you on that, the nomads that we are talking about is not only open to foreigners. You are and can be local nomads within your own country. Meaning, I can work, when I extended that to MDEC staff, if you want to stay in Sarawak and work for MDEC and with MDEC, you are still open, provided that we still have access to be able to work. This is the other part. I think within the ministry itself, KKD, that we work with NCMC and the rest of the telcos to look at the JDL program, the POP program, to complement what we want to do. There's no point of having that program without connectivity and quality connection. So it is a joint effort that we are doing together. On the other hand, digital trade drives interoperability and greater harmonization of standards and regulatory approaches, as well as facilitating trade within and across borders. Digital trade is a natural progression of e-commerce, and it aims to accelerate e-commerce and business digital adoption while simplifying cross-border trade, aligned with the National E-commerce Strategic Roadmap, or NESR for short, of which MDEC plays a major part of that. I am the co-chair with the TKSU of MITI. So this is basically the numbers that you see today, that you see there, 1.65 trillion ringgit in terms of market size of e-commerce, which was a 2025 target of 1 trillion, and we achieved that by a large amount through this initiative. And not just MDEC and MITI alone, we're just carrying this, enabling it through all the agencies and all the apparatus of the Malaysian government. So again, I'm not claiming for the rest, I'm just telling you what we do. At least, I think I'm looking at 25 to 27 agencies and ministries spanning across many sectors to be able to come up with that number. Second, in terms of onboarding, again, within the blueprint, the target was 875,000 MSME to be onboarded on e-commerce and things like that. We got that number recently approved last week, audited 1.126 billion. So that shows you, yes, obviously the COVID and MCO helped a lot, but we have to continue and sustain the momentum to be able to move forward on that. MDEC is also embarking on the national e-invoicing implementation to transform businesses and operations and enhance efficiency, accuracy and reliability of transactions through interoperable and seamless end-to-end movement of data. It's a mouthful, but essentially what it means is that we want to be able to track transactions being done within the country using digital. Why? There's that shadow economy that we are currently working with the tax authorities that we want to be able to at least shine some light onto it, so that the government is able to not only look at those areas, legalize some of this, and also look with the rest in terms of knowing what the data is about. Imagine the possibilities of national e-invoicing, where the invoices of what you bought this morning in one place versus what your friend buys, say, at another place. Same. Say, for example, mineral water. $1.25 here and $1.75 on the other side. imagine the possibilities of being able to aggregate this data and also inform the public. If you want to buy something cheap, this would be the places that you can go to, because now the government and also the businesses have the data to actually show, and for you to make an educated and informed decisions on where to buy, where to actually do this. Obviously, I'm just citing a very small example of that. More to come very much on national invoicing. By 2025, we want to be able to implement e-invoicing in phases. So this year, we have already begun that, both from the tax authority, i.e. the HDN, and also by, to a larger extent, Jabatan Kasta Raja Malaysia, to look at this from the legal aspect of it. Where MDEC comes in is very much to look at technology. So system development pilot project with the selected tax communities, taxpayer communities would be there as well. This PEMANGKIN that we have announced are set to evolve Malaysia's digital economy capabilities and capacities, raising Malaysia's value proposition for digital investments and nurture technology sectors within the significant commercial and economic potential. Why this is important? We have other sectors, the promoted sectors, so 7 other sectors, if you may, totaling to about 9 that we have today, that we launched as part of Malaysia Digital. So the 9 promoted sectors include all those which I shall not read and bore you with, but this has been identified because they have potential, because they have the right ecosystem, because we know that we want to actually bet on this. And there's a big reason why we're looking at those things. Why I think finance, we see Bank Negara today here, we have digital health as well, we see digital banks as well, and digital cities. There's a lot more that we can do together in terms of doing something with this. So the PEMANGKIN for this 9 promoted sectors are strategically led by local tech companies and also foreign investors in the adage about wanting to import and wanting to create and also be able to innovate together with the rest of the global ecosystem. MDEC strives to cultivate a collaborative ecosystem that empowers individuals and businesses to harness the vast potential of these promoted sectors through concerted efforts involving both local and foreign stakeholders. However, we still have some challenges within these sectors, and this would be some of the sessions that we have done before this. Like I said, when we launched Malaysia Digital last year, subsequent activities in terms of industry engagement that we have done, although in smaller scales, they are not as big as something like this. I'm sure we will have even more. Some of these challenges are, if not adequately addressed, it hinder the growth and the development of Malaysia's digital economy. This could lead to missed opportunities for economic growth, lack of job opportunities, reduced competitiveness, and potential stagnation of these tech sectors. It would also impede the overall progress of Malaysia's digital economy and restrain our transformation into a globally competitive digital nation. What we are saying here is that we want to do this, let's go and do this together. Be the change that you want to see. And we want to do this with the rest. I think this is the invitation for us to do that. Okay? So therefore, MDEC is actively tackling these challenges via our PEMANGKIN to unlock the full potential of these promoted sectors and ensure their success in driving Malaysia's digital economy forward. Again, a bit on the global strategies and trends with regards to the same sectors that we're looking at. As you can see, they are growing exponentially on a global level according to the Malaysia Digital Tech Trends and Outlook 2030 study done by the MDEC research team itself. That is why MDEC believes and is committed to fostering their growth through strategic interventions, collaborative efforts, and continuous effort. We want to be able to seize opportunities to enable individuals and businesses alike to leverage on this immense potential of the 9 sectors. A bit on the background of what the government has done From this year until 2025, we are making strategic investments into each of the promoted sectors via the allocated budget on digital economy to accelerate the growth and the development. Collectively, as you can see on this slide, the government through MDEC, and this is through MDEC alone, have allocated a total of 192.9 million as public investments into these 9 MD Pengumuman sectors. We are investing heavily on industry development such as digital infrastructure, education, providing our workforce with the skills they need to succeed in the digital economy. But then again, this is not enough. What we have here is we add a bit more to enhance the technology enablers. So we have roughly about 45 million right there in the middle from the total investment that will be used to enhance various technology enablers such as blockchain, automation, AI and more. A further 4.9 million ringgit from the total investment will be distributed through our digital grants. The grants are not digital, grants are meant for you to do digital stuff with us and for the government. So we want to be able to do this together, all of this with you guys under the program, the Pemangkin program. So in return, we believe there's at least, you look at the, say, 192 million or 200 million as the contribution of the government to spark and catalyze economic activities and further engagements with the private sector. If that represents roughly about 20%, we believe that there's at least 1 billion ringgit worth of investment opportunities that are expected to be generated through these promoted sectors or within these promoted sectors together with the public sector, with the private sector. So there's that public-private sector and industry collaboration that we aim to achieve through strategic interventions and more industry engagements. MDEC is actively addressing national problems through our strategic interventions. We are leveraging digital innovation to tackle these challenges head on. The example that I can show you is that some of the programs that we are running, one of which MDEC and Toyota, there's also together with the universities as well. We do have Islamic. So this is to show you that even now there are existing programs being run with some of you, and if not more, outside of this. So the numbers are there, whether it's through facilitation, through business matching, and through awards and programs, winning prizes as well. And the latest one was together with Alibaba, if I'm not mistaken, where roughly about $5 million were actually put up for the prize winners to be invested into that idea and that technology. So the programs, this kind of programs that we do with the private sector is not enough. So this is not to take up the whip and say that please do this, otherwise I don't think that's what we want to do. We want to have more. The government will continue to do, but there's a lot more investments that we hope be able to be achieved together with you guys. So again, we are also playing a key role in moving the needle of the economy significantly, but via policy facilitation and enabling programs. MDEC's funding facilitation team is actively engaged in negotiations with key private stakeholders and investors, aiming to secure an impressive total funding value of up to 160 million for the ecosystem. So the tech companies there, the innovators out there, the creators out there, these are the kinds of potential that you should see. So again, the conversations that we have another side of this, the Malaysia Digital program, of which we are bringing in adoption throughout the country for all the people, not just only for the rural, but for the urban as well. We are telling them the potential is there. The opportunities for us to do business and for you to embark into digital economy is, again, can be pursued and can be had together with the help of the rest of the private sector. So these efforts are being pursued through multiple collaborative initiatives as part of the dynamic Di-Dagang campaign, which is co-funded by diverse private sectors encompassing tourism and craft, halal, agriculture and exporters. With new and flexible options of MD status, investors can choose to domicile and grow their business anywhere in Malaysia. Our Mangkin should be able to attract foreign and local investments, creating high-quality jobs and fostering innovation and entrepreneurship. We recognize today, and we continue to do so, that the public-private partnerships are essential to harness the full potential of our digital economy. We actively engaged with the private sector partners, including corporations, venture capitals, angel investors, and also financial institutions to co-invest in our digital initiatives. What I can share with you also is that we are looking at some of the corporate innovation programs through the GLICs and the GLCs that we have engaged so far. Again, bringing more good news to the industry. This must be done together and shouldn't be done just by the government or by one agency. So, again, having said all that, as the agency that looks at all these digital initiatives and MD, and also Pengumuman as a whole, we are committed to looking to actually unearthing, unlocking the full potential of digital technology for the benefit of our nation, our people, and our economy. Of course, none of this can be achieved without the help of industry players like yourselves, and I would like to take this opportunity to invite all of you, again, to participate in our Mangkin programs where there's industry engagement. Together, I believe that we can achieve a lot more than just the numbers that we put up there. And 2025 shouldn't be the year that we stop. We should plan for 20 years more, 30 years more. I think as my minister has mentioned, the golden digital decade. That's what we want to be able to have. Opportunities are abound. You can participate in our Mangkin industry dialogue and private sector-led investments, or get involved in areas such as funding and facilitation support, regulatory and policy support, as well as market access and development. I'm not just naming all this. We have the right functions that will be there looking at working with the industry to be able to do that. So for each of those things, whether it's regulatory support, whether it's policy support, whether it's funding and things like that, do come talk to us. There are things available that we want to do with that. So in conclusion, the MD initiative via our Mangkin are a critical part of our effort to position Malaysia as a leader in the digital economy. With your help and support, we can achieve our ambitious goals and create a brighter future for all Malaysians. If I can put and leave you with a corny quote, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. So thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Technologist Madhu for that comprehensive overview of target strategies and roadmap of Mangkin. To all the public and private stakeholders present here today, you are invited to participate and collaborate with MDEC to create a more prosperous and innovative future for Malaysia. So exciting times ahead. On that note, it now gives me great pleasure to invite Fahmi Fadzil, the Minister of Communications and Digital, for his speech. Fahmi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi ajma'in. Yang Berhormat Tuan Syed Rahim Syed Noh, Chairman MDEC, Yang Berusaha Tuan Mahathir Aziz, CEO of MDEC, esteemed guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you first and foremost for having me, and thank you for being here. This is quite not only an auspicious time. It's the last few days of Ramadan. Everyone is gearing up for Raya. Everyone's trying to, apart from making so-called bets on the digital future, I'm sure there are many people who are making guesses as to when first of Shawwal will be. And the other guest that people always have fun with is nanti penyimpan moho besar raja-raja pakai baju Melayu warna apa? So these two questions be the back of our minds. Thank you so much for being with us here this morning. We have heard from technologist Mahathir Aziz, the CEO of MDEC, quite a thorough and detailed rundown of how we aim to move the digital economy forward. We are at a precipice, we are at a very opportune time. We are at a cusp. And I don't use these words lightly. When I assumed this role, about 4 months ago, one of the key things that I had to think through is, under the ministry, there are about 11, 12 agencies. And what is it that this ministry should aim to do? And how is it that we can contribute positively to growth and development in the country? And I began, after quite an elaborate deep dive of the work of each respective agency, I began to understand and was able to map out what that picture could be. There are essentially 3 thrusts, or 3 pillars, or 3 tiang seri usaha ikhtiar Kementerian Komunikasi dan Digital. The first has to do with infrastructure. This involves MCMC. Particularly, it's about ensuring that the connectivity in Malaysia, we have by and large universal access. As we all know by now, in terms of 4G coverage throughout the country, we have reached 96.92%, 97% effectively, leaving us with only about 3% of populated areas as yet with no connectivity. This is a challenge which we aim to overcome through MCMC, via whether it's satellite, broadband wireless access, or hybrids of that. The second pillar has to do with safety and security. It's one thing to encourage the growth and adoption of the digital economy. It's another thing to make sure that it's safe. So under the second pillar, we have Cybersecurity Malaysia, the Data Protection Department, JPDP, and MINIC. So all of the .MIs in the country, the agency that oversees that is under this ministry. So it's one thing to have the so-called proverbial digital roads. It's another thing to have guide rails, or guardrails, the cat's eyes, to make sure that people can use this digital infrastructure safely. But the third pillar, of which MDEC is part of, it's about the digital economy. It's about bringing in investments. It's about spurring growth. And when we look at some of the targets set by the government, the estimate is by 2025, the contribution of digital economy to our gross domestic product is to reach 25.5%. I can get a sense, based on the spike in activity, the drive in investments. For example, the Prime Minister just a few days ago announced another major investment by a major infraco, a digital bridge, and the news that we've been getting, largely driven by data centers, seems to indicate that perhaps when we reach 2025, we may surpass that target of 25.5%. But it's not enough for Malaysia to be a hub for data centers. It is. We saw, there was a news report, like Frank mentioned, that Malaysia tops many other Southeast Asian countries in terms of being a hub for data centers. Because when you do visit data centers, you realize that the infrastructure is great. It's you know, a big piece of, it's a real estate play. But it doesn't necessarily create jobs in that sense for data centers. A huge data center may really only require a dozen people to run. But it's what happens with these data centers. That to me, that's the key. And it's the work of MDEC, luring and working together with people like yourselves public sector, private sector, to ensure that we have the infrastructure, we can ensure it's safe to be used, and for us to enjoy how I like to think of it as a digital economic playground. And in that way, realize, inshallah, God willing, if we get all of this right, a golden digital decade for Malaysia. So if in the 90s we used to think of ourselves as an ASEAN tiger, perhaps it is not too much of us to rethink and refashion and reconsider, reimagine that if we get these things right, if MDEC is able to achieve the 9 key strategic objectives, these key sectors, and truly drive that adoption digital economy throughout a broad swath of Malaysian society, that we could become an ASEAN digital tiger. And I think this is a prime opportunity for me to go back to my script. So we've heard that digital economy already contributes currently 22.6% of GDP, and it is expected to create about 500,000 jobs by 2025. This level of contribution makes it imperative for both government and private sectors to work together to chart the way forward for Malaysia's digital economy. This also underlines our efforts in bolstering Malaysia's position as the preferred choice for digital and tech companies to land and expand in the Southeast Asian region. Blue-chip international companies and investors continue to show confidence in Malaysia's capabilities and capacities. This obviously was reflected in the recent announcement by Amazon Web Services. They announced their largest commitment to Malaysia, investing a total of 6 billion ringgit in building an Amazon Web Services infrastructure region by 2037. I believe this is just the first phase, and inshallah, there's more good news to come. Such initiatives have cascading opportunities for the rakyat and businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, private and public partnerships will be key to realizing our national agenda in the digital economy. As announced earlier, MDEC expects 1 billion ringgit worth of investment opportunities to be generated following the rollout of today's PEMANGKIN initiative and through the collaboration of industry players coming from the private sector. We urge the private sector to work with government to create a more cohesive, inclusive, and innovative tech ecosystem. There are plenty of opportunities for us to grow together, especially under Malaysia Digital and the rollout of various PEMANGKIN programs. However, there are many fundamental areas of digital transformation that need to be addressed, not least in policy space, as we progress on our journey towards creating a sustainable and dynamic digital economy. Ladies and gentlemen, Malaysia Digital seeks to transform the nation's digital capabilities and boost the digital economy through the rollout of various PEMANGKIN programs across the 9 promoted sectors, as announced today. Initial programs like e-Rantau and digital trade have been introduced to help establish Malaysia as a digital nomad hub, as well as facilitate trade through regulation and standardization. We have recorded substantial achievements from such programs based on the local reception received, international recognition, and the growing participation from stakeholders across industries wanting to contribute their efforts. We are confident that more of these PEMANGKIN programs will act as a catalyst to equip the nation's workforce with digital skills, spurring technological innovation and attracting foreign investors to set up their operations in Malaysia. These identified sectors will be critical drivers of innovation, competition, and growth. And this will help usher in Malaysia's golden digital decade, inshallah. You can expect more PEMANGKIN programs to be rolled out in the near future, and we look forward to it. Furthermore, MDEC will soon release 3 digital grants. The rakyat can look forward to utilizing these grants that are meant to support the sustainable growth of the tech ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proactively engaging with the tech industry. We will continue to channel and render critical support and intervention across sectors to catalyze and accelerate the growth of the digital economy. The Pemangkin Industry Dialogue will act as a platform for consistent and effective engagement to address the needs of our key stakeholders. This is where we, both the public and private sectors, can come together and form an effective collaboration and partnership, as well as engagement in areas affecting policy, regulation, funding facilitation, private-led investments, and market access, as well as development matters. As part of these efforts, MDEC has organized a town hall session for the digital content industry later today. Ada apa sekali kan? Yeah, my coffee level is like, yeah. Here we will, at that town hall, we will listen to and exchange ideas, receive feedback, suggestions on how we can support the industry better. Pemangkin is here to catalyze your growth, but we still need your spark to light it. Your continuous confidence, support and cooperation will be vital to our success. Together, inshallah, we can move the needle further. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ravi. And now we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to get the photographers to come up on stage because they'll be taking a photograph of all the VIPs and all of you as well. So if we could all stand up for this and, you know, maybe shout Selamat Hari Raya or whatever. Pemangkin. Everyone can stand up in this photo. And this will also serve as evidence of who was here.
Tes, tes. Saya terlindung tak? Like, terlindung tak? Okey, tak? Okey tak? Menteri saya, Chairman of the Right.
One second. Check.
Okay, are we ready?
Yes, we're ready. And of course, today we will talk about Mangkin and all questions that you may have. So we can begin the questions with, I guess, someone raising their hands and saying where they're from with your question. Is there anyone with a question?
Okay, thank you so much. Come, let's go. Okay, wait. Belum lagi. Semua okay ya? Okay, Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera, selamat pagi rakan-rakan media. We'll do the press conference in bilingual, so you can ask your questions in BM English. Pagi ni kita di majlis kiranya pelancaran lah ya, untuk program Pemangkin yang berhasrat untuk bukan hanya menegaskan usaha dan ikhtiar pihak kerajaan, khususnya agensi Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation ataupun MDEC, untuk memacu pertumbuhan dan menyediakan pemangkin kepada pertumbuhan ekonomi digital di Malaysia. Dan penting untuk ditegaskan bahawa program Mangkin Malaysia Digital ataupun Pemangkin ini akan menambah sebanyak 9 sektor tumpuan yang akan melibatkan nilai pelaburan sebanyak 1 bilion ringgit yang bakal menjana sehingga 49,000 peluang pekerjaan menjelang 2025. Terdapat 9 sektor yang termasuk pelancongan digital, pertanian digital, bandar digital, kandungan digital, keuangan digital, perdagangan digital, servis digital, kesihatan digital dan ekonomi digital Islam. Sebelum ini kita telah mendengar tentang 2 program yang ataupun 3 program yang diikhtiarkan oleh MDEC di bawah kiranya perancangan tentang pembangunan ataupun pembangunan ekonomi digital. Pertama adalah di rantau, kedua adalah e-invoicing dan ketiga adalah National E-commerce Strategic Roadmap. Dan kita akan tambah lagi seperti yang telah diumumkan tadi. Saya percaya dengan gabungan dan usaha sama di antara pihak kerajaan dan juga pihak swasta akan dapat memacu dan menjadi pemangkin kepada pertumbuhan ekonomi digital. Hasrat saya dan juga kementerian ialah ikhtiar seperti ini bukan hanya akan memanfaatkan syarikat-syarikat besar, tapi akhirnya rakyat biasa. Sama ada yang mendapat pekerjaan dalam sektor ekonomi digital ataupun dapat memanfaatkan prasarana yang tersedia. Saya bagi contoh yang paling mudah, mereka yang mungkin sebelum ni bekerja dari rumah, ya, pendapatan sekian, tapi dengan servis digital sebagai contoh, satu sektor yang sebenarnya sangat berpotensi, mereka boleh meningkatkan pendapatan mereka melalui ekonomi digital. Mungkin mereka tidak tahu yang sebelum ni jumlah pasaran yang ada lebih luas dari yang mereka jangkakan. Tapi dengan ikhtiar yang diusahakan bersama MDEC, dan saya percaya bukan hanya dengan sektor swasta tapi juga dengan agensi-agensi lain di bawah KKD seperti MCMC yang menguruskan Pusat Ekonomi Digital ataupun PEDI, kita akan mampu memastikan lebih ramai rakyat Malaysia dapat terlibat dalam ekonomi digital kelak, insya-Allah. Baik, ada soalan?
Is there a time frame for this rating to achieve the target?
It's by 2025.
By 2025. So along that, maksudnya ada insentif akan diberikan?
Ya, seperti yang diumumkan tadi oleh CEO, ada sejumlah yang berbentuk grant, ada sejumlah yang berbentuk pelaburan daripada sektor swasta, dan ada beberapa insentif ya, yang dimaksudkan. Dia melibatkan pelbagai ikhtiar, merentasi 9 sektor yang saya sebutkan tadi, dan ada yang melibatkan contohnya meletakkan Malaysia sebagai hub bagi talent untuk membangunkan ekonomi digital seperti dalam program di rantau. saya percaya bila kita dapat mewar-warkan program pemangkin ini, lebih ramai insya-Allah yang akan berminat dalam program-program seperti di rantau.
Bulan Mei.
Ya, insya-Allah bulan Mei.
Selepas raya.
Lepas raya. Kita raya dulu.
Ada kriteria ke yang diletakkan macam kan?
Ya, nanti pihak MDEC akan nyatakan secara terperinci.
Masa announcement tu nanti kita akan buat kriteria untuk selepas raya, insya-Allah awal Mei. Jadi ada kriteria sebab grant tu berbeza-beza. Jadi kriteria dia pun berbeza juga.
Kenapa hari ini dia lebih bersifat overview?
Hari ini sekadar pengenalan.
Ya, pengenalan kepada 9 sektor yang saya sebutkan tadi dan matlamat serta apakah ikhtiar secara umum, tapi nanti setiap daripada 9 sektor ini dia akan ada pengkhususan dia. Jadi ini akan diumum secara berperingkat oleh pihak MDEC supaya maklumat yang terperinci itu bukan semua, kalau tak banyak juga ya, maklumat. Jadi kita nak pergi one by one insya-Allah.
Kalau boleh tambah sikit, tengah hari ni macam tadi YB ada mention untuk industri creative content. Jadi itu yang YB insya-Allah ada tengah hari.
Is there a reason why these 9 sectors were chosen?
Actually, in terms of the 9, two things. We did a study through MDEC own research team, di mana kita dapati ada 9 sektor yang berpotensi. Sebenarnya ada banyak lagi. Transportation kita tak nampak di situ, logistik pun ada juga. Tetapi masing-masing ada kelemahan dan kekuatan. Di mana kita tengok dari segi infrastruktur yang ada, yang disediakan oleh kerajaan, syarikat-syarikat yang berkecimpung ataupun terlibat dalam sektor-sektor yang berikut, dan juga potensi untuk kita mengeksport. Bukan sahaja untuk mencipta, malah mengeksport ke luar negara. Jadi yang ini memang traditionally sektor yang amat berpotensi bagi Malaysia. Itu pun disokong oleh number-number daripada global trends.
Penting saya tegaskan bahawa secara keseluruhan apa yang diikhtiarkan, apa yang kita sebut pada hari ini, dia adalah sebahagian dari usaha untuk memajukan sektor-sektor ekonomi. Dan kalau kita lihat, kalau sebelum ini ada teguran yang pernah dibuat tentang how complex our economy is. Complex bukan complicated. Ya. So kita lebih sebelum ni mengkhususkan pengeksportan komoditi. Tapi dalam ekonomi digital, terutama dalam 9 sektor ni, dengan memberi penumpuan dan keutamaan, saya percaya fokus bukan hanya MDEC tapi keseluruhan sektor awam dan swasta akan dapat meningkatkan tahap kompleksiti ekonomi kita, dan ini akan membantu secara langsung dan tidak langsung meningkatkan pendapatan dan mengeluarkan Malaysia daripada the middle income trap. It's critical sebab bila kita menghasilkan konten-konten digital, sebagai contoh, kita bukan hanya rakyat Malaysia yang menonton ataupun consume this content. Kita boleh ekspor ke negara lain. 2 ekspor terbesar Malaysia ke Indonesia, dan kita kena ingat jumlah penduduk di Indonesia tu 10-11 kali ganda lebih besar dari Malaysia. Sebagai contoh, the market is big. Ya. 2 ekspor terbesar Malaysia ialah Siti Nurhaliza dan Upin dan Ipin. So these are 2 major exports to a huge market. So when we develop these sectors, as we have highlighted, the 9 sectors too, the potential for export is very high. And therefore, the knock-on effect to Malaysia's economy and our growth trajectory will be extremely positive, insyaAllah.
Questions?
No?
Laporan suara 192.9 itu hanya untuk 20 ataupun
Sepanjang sampai 20.
Sampai 2025. Sebenarnya daripada tahun ni dia adalah sebahagian daripada RMK allocation.
Dia combination.
Yang itu government.
Oh, itu government. Maaf, government.
Yang itu campur dengan private sector. So maknanya government dah letak 192 juta on the table. Let's see how the private sector responds.
Boleh? Nak tanya Syed Ibrahim ke? Saya boleh. Boleh. Baik.
Syawal MPRM Baharu. So bincang kursi itu macam mana?
Dia saya percaya insya-Allah tak lama lagi pimpinan akan umumkan hasil rundingan kerusi, tapi saya jangkakan ia sangat positif. Kita belum mengadakan mesyuarat ataupun lebih tepat mesyuarat yang terakhir baru saja mungkin 3-4 minggu yang lalu. Jadi saya jangkakan mesyuarat seterusnya nanti mungkin kita akan ada update yang terkini. Untuk maklumat paling tepat kena rujuk dengan sama ada Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution ataupun Yang Mohd Rafizi Ramli. Mereka akan ada maklumat terperinci.
Bila dijangka umum?
Saya jangkakan selepas Hari Raya ataupun sebelum hujung bulan Mei, saya jangka.
Bagi sebelum ni, bagi pernah kata ada berita gembira untuk bulan lain.
Ya. Isnin Selasa, saya kena call beberapa orang lepas ni. Nanti untuk minta mereka buat pengumuman itu. Dia ada some very interesting, insyaAllah, for prepaid users. Anyone here prepaid users? No?
Alright, if there are any more questions around Pengumuman, if there are no more questions around Pengumuman, we'd like to thank everyone for being here today. Wishing everyone Selamat Raya. I know the press conference will happen after the press conference is making its exit. So anyway, maybe I'll let you make an exit first.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you everyone.
Thanks. Thank you. Terima kasih ya.